Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Love and Life, the channel where we share knowledge for holistic self-development through great books. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a fascinating book called This Book May Save Your Life. The author, Karan Rajan, is a witty surgeon who uses a humorous tone to dissect the entire human body with the goal of helping us avoid biological traps. What are these biological traps? The human body is truly a great work, a miraculous result of evolution. It's wonderful, always loves us, and wants us to live well. And yet, throughout his medical career, he discovered that there are parts of the body where, if just one little thing goes wrong, a person can lose their life or their health can deteriorate. There are biological traps. For example, our nose is a design disaster, prone to clogging, leaking, and abnormal hair growth. Without bones, it would be terrible. But if we have back pain, neck pain, or knee pain, our bones become our prison. Our brain is like an outdated computer operating system, full of buggy code, slow to load, and it prefers watching entertainment videos over going to sleep. And there are many other biological traps. We need to know about these things in advance to prevent illness. When you hear the title, This Book May Save Your Life, don't jump to thinking about something huge, like saving someone with terminal cancer. This book simply popularizes knowledge about the entire body system. Knowledge that seems basic, but is incredibly necessary when you live with this body. Because when you clearly understand your own body, you will know how to make the most of the natural resources it gives you. Only then can you take the best care of yourself and your loved ones. I hope this book will bring you useful health knowledge, helping you live healthier and with more understanding. And now, please listen. Cherish the place your life began. If you were to compare the human body to its simplest shape, what would it be? That shape is a tube. Our body is like a long pipe, starting from the mouth and exiting at the anus. A doctor is really just like a plumber, and your body is an entire underground plumbing system that needs regular maintenance. If you don't know how to protect it properly, it will leak, get blocked here, clogged there, and even have wastewater flowing backward. In the body, the digestive system is the central plumbing system, operated by a mysterious, intelligent device. And here's a not-so-romantic truth. Our life begins at the anus. When you were a tiny embryo in your mother's womb, the first part that formed wasn't the heart or the brain, as many people think, but a hole. That hole gradually expanded, pierced through the embryo, and the other side formed the mouth. Basically, we were once a creature with a mouth and an anus connected. We started life as a lonely anus floating in the uterus, which then gradually developed into the intestines. The intestines began to twist and turn, creating the complex maze that would later be called the digestive system. After that, the entire embryo gradually completed itself. In short, we all started life as a whole, but it's that very whole that helps us sustain life for a lifetime. The whole makes the digestive system, and the digestive system is the core foundation of human life. So, if you want to live healthily and happily, cherish your digestive system. To protect your digestive system, you first need to know that the gut is also called the second brain. It has a certain ability to think. A gut-brain axis exists, meaning the state of your gut can affect the thoughts and emotions of your brain. Sometimes, whether you are happy or not isn't decided by your brain, but by the condition of the beneficial bacteria in your gut. For example, when you're hungry, you get easily irritated. This is because the gut is directly affecting your emotions. Therefore, to live peacefully and joyfully, you must also nourish your gut microbiome. We need to know that the favorite feast for gut bacteria is fiber. Some types of fiber, called prebiotics, are premium food sources that help beneficial bacteria thrive. They also love another group of compounds called polyphenols, natural antioxidant molecules found in many fruits, like blueberries, apples, especially the skin, berries, strawberries, raspberries, grapes, especially red and black, citrus fruits, pomegranates, and cherries. In vegetables, they're in broccoli, kale, spinach, eggplant, carrots, and sweet potatoes. They're also in beans, nuts, whole grains, and even in nutrient-rich spices and foods like turmeric, cinnamon, pure cocoa, dark chocolate, extra virgin olive oil, and coffee when used in moderation. These foods not only nourish the tiny residents in your gut, but also help maintain a healthy microbiome. Conversely, eating too much red meat and ultra-processed foods, the kind where you can no longer recognize their original form, is bad. They often contain refined sugar, preservatives, artificial flavors, colorings, and repeatedly used frying oils, all of which can destroy the balance of the gut microbiome. Examples include sausages, bacon, cold cuts, industrial fish cakes, instant noodles, snack chips, packaged cookies and cakes, soft drinks, energy drinks, fast food like pizza, French fries, and various industrial sauces. Furthermore, eating too much red meat like pork and beef can cause mild inflammation or worsen inflammation in your body. The gut microbiome is like a small garden in your belly. Feed it healthy food, and it will bloom vibrantly and send you feelings of joy and vitality. But if you keep watering it with overprocessed food, fast food, and preservatives, that garden will wilt, leaving a patch of weeds that cause inflammation, fatigue, and pain in the long run. Next, let's talk about the esophagus. The human esophagus and trachea, windpipe, have an extremely poor design. They share a common segment of the throat, the pharynx, and these two tubes lie right next to each other. Because of this, when we eat, food can easily go down the wrong way, get into the trachea, and end up in the lungs, causing us to choke from time to time. As we get older, the risk of choking increases because the muscles in the throat and larynx weaken and the swallowing reflex slows down. Elderly people in the hospital are especially prone to choking when being fed by others while lying down. Small rice particles can get into the lungs, causing aspiration pneumonia. This is one of the ways the body can kill itself if we don't know how to perform first aid in time. If you encounter this situation, the first and simplest method is to use your hand to pat firmly between the two shoulder blades. This can dislodge the foreign object. Currently, most first aid guides for a blocked airway recommend 5 back blows. If that doesn't solve it, perform the procedure formerly known as the Heimlich maneuver. Wrap your arms around the middle of the choking person's abdomen, then pull sharply backward and upward. Perform 5 abdominal thrusts. If the person is still blocked, call for emergency help immediately. At the bottom of the esophagus, there is a part called the lower esophageal sphincter. If you don't chew your food thoroughly, this area is easily damaged. Also, When acid reflux occurs, acid is the first thing to burn it. Therefore, eat slowly and chew thoroughly to reduce pressure on the stomach. When you eat in a hurry, swallow without chewing, or talk, or look at your phone while eating, your body can easily swallow a lot of air, increasing pressure in the stomach and causing acid to be pushed back up. An ideal meal is to sit up straight, focus on eating, avoid lying down or bending over right after eating, and limit spicy, sour foods or alcohol. Having a bowel movement is a very important event that has a huge impact on health. Women are more likely to be constipated than men because the uterus and ovaries in a woman's body mean there is less space in the abdominal cavity. This forces the intestines to twist and loop more, making them more prone to kinking, which leads to difficulty in passing stool. Medically, if you have fewer than 3 bowel movements a week, you are considered constipated, and this condition is very harmful. To avoid hemorrhoids, you should not strain too hard, which puts pressure on the anus. The time spent should be under 10 minutes, ideally under 5 minutes. To do this, we need to drink enough water, 6 to 8 glasses, and add about 30 grams of fiber each day. Most modern people only eat about 15 to 18 grams of fiber per day. A common reason is the habit of eating in the wrong order, often eating rice and meat first, then eating vegetables. By then, the stomach is almost full, causing us to eat very few vegetables. Many people also have an unbalanced meal ratio, with starches and meat making up the majority, while vegetables, nuts, beans, fruits, and whole grains make up very little. But it's not hard to fix. For example, start your day with a bowl of oats, a banana, and a spoonful of chia seeds, totaling about 12 grams of fiber. For lunch, have a large bowl of vegetables or salad, a bowl of brown rice, and 1/2 cup of tofu or black beans, totaling about 12 grams of fiber. For a snack or dinner, you could have a sweet potato, an apple, and a handful of almonds or sunflower seeds, totaling 10 grams of fiber. Just like that, you've reached the recommended level. In addition to paying attention to portions, we must also pay attention to our defecation posture. So, what posture makes it easiest? Doctors have pointed out that the squatting position is the most natural and effective way. However, today, most families use sitting toilets, which make the body form a 90-degree angle. This posture kinks the rectum, making it difficult for stool to pass and easily causing constipation. Also, be aware that you should not overuse laxatives, whether oral or suppositories, as they can damage the gut microbiome. A simpler and safer way is to place a small stool under your feet when sitting on the toilet. This raises your knees, bringing your body closer to a squatting position. If you don't have a stool, you can lean your body slightly forward, which also helps. Another very important thing: always close the toilet lid before flushing. Why is this important? Because in many homes, the toilet and the sink are in the same space. When the water flushes forcefully, tiny fecal particles full of bacteria are aerosolized. If they land in your mouth, eyes, or nose, they can cause infections. So always close the lid before you flush. This is a tiny habit, but it's extremely important for protecting your health. After using the toilet, you should observe your stool a bit. It may sound strange, but just a little attention can save your life. If your stool is gray-white, like clay, it's a sign of a lack of bile, and you need to see a doctor immediately. Dark red or black stool can indicate bleeding in the digestive tract, often accompanied by the metallic smell of iron. In addition to color, the consistency and shape of the stool also reflect your body's condition. For example, floating, oily stool very likely means your pancreas has a problem and isn't secreting enough enzymes to digest fat. Finally, to keep your intestines healthy, you also need to exercise regularly. Don't hold in your bowel movements or urine, and best of all, try to develop a habit of having a bowel movement at a fixed time each day. Activate your sixth sense. The best way to keep your joints healthy. When it comes to the skeletal system, there are 3 issues we need to pay special attention to. 1. Degeneration. 2. Knees. And 3. Lumbar spine, lower back. These are not only the most vulnerable locations, but also the body's Achilles heel as we enter middle age. First, regarding bone degeneration. After age 40, bones begin to shrink, bone density decreases, and our bodies get shorter. This is a natural process, but it can be slowed down if we actively care for our bones properly. To prevent this, supplementing with enough calcium is essential. Besides familiar dairy foods like cheese, you can boost calcium through dark green vegetables like kale. Greens can be a rich source of calcium. However, just eating calcium-rich foods isn't enough. The body also needs vitamin D because it's vitamin D that helps the intestines absorb calcium more effectively. So, what's the best source? Besides food supplements, you need regular sunlight exposure. Only when exposed to the sun can the body naturally synthesize and metabolize vitamin D. This is a complex but crucial lifestyle and nutrition issue. Second is the issue of the knees. With every step you take, your knee has to support a weight 6 times your body. Throughout our lives, our knees endure enormous pressure from millions of steps. Therefore, you must protect your knees well, or you might have to get artificial knee replacements in old age. Here, the author points out a common mistake. Many people are afraid to exercise to protect their knees, but in reality, observe the elderly. You'll see that the more active people are, the healthier their knees. In weight-bearing exercises like running, the knee joint is loaded, but this very compression is good for the cartilage. Each step is like squeezing a sponge. Waste products are pushed out, and new, nutrient-rich fluid is sucked in. Of course, the key is to exercise in moderation and avoid overdoing it. Next is the third issue, the lumbar spine. When we walk, our bodies always rotate slightly. If we didn't rotate, the ground reaction force could make you fall backward. This twisting motion helps balance the ground's reaction force, allowing us to move forward. But this rotation is also the cause of many back problems, especially herniated discs. Between each vertebra is a cartilage cushion of collagen containing a gel-like substance, the nucleus pulposus. We've rotated our bodies millions of times in our lives. This causes the hard outer layer of the disc to gradually wear down, and when the gel-like nucleus pushes out, we get a herniated disc. Even worse, it can press on nerves, causing pain, numbness, and even radiating down the back, buttocks, and legs. The way to prevent this is to strengthen your core muscle groups, for example, with exercises like the plank, basic Pilates moves, or yoga poses like Navasana, boat pose, or Utkatasana, chair pose. One more thing to pay special attention to. Looking down at your phone too much will cause cervical spine neck problems. In today's era, this has become such a common ailment that many people underestimate it and consider it normal. But when you indulge yourself and accept living with this misalignment, the consequences will be unpredictable. The neck joints will gradually degenerate, causing pain, numbness, stiffness, and can lead to spinal deformities in the long run. Finally, a rather interesting point: we can absolutely protect our joints by using our sixth sense. It sounds like a joke, but the author is very serious. This sixth sense is proprioception, an innate ability we are not conscious we have. The more your body is able to self-adjust and self-balance without you thinking about it, the lower your risk of injury and joint pain. In other words, we naturally know how our joints should be moving. Simple balancing exercises can strengthen this sense. For example, close your eyes, stand on one leg, and slightly bend your knee. This action forces the muscles around the knee to work harder to maintain balance. The more you participate in regular physical activity, the more your body and brain will naturally know what to do, and this is how your sixth sense becomes sharper and your body smarter. This subtle harmony between consciousness, sensation, and movement is the deepest secret to keeping joints supple, flexible, and durable over time. Love your command center. The brain also needs daily cleansing. Now, let's talk about the brain. The human brain weighs about 1.3 kilograms, accounting for only 2% of body weight, but it consumes up to 20% of our energy reserves. The brain is extremely energy intensive, so when you think a lot, you feel tired and get hungry quickly. The brain is the body's command system, but it's not the ultimate board of directors. Our genes, DNA, are the root decision-making body. The brain is just like a CEO. This commander has about 86 billion neurons. That number alone is enormous, not to mention the countless connections between them. There's an old rumor that humans only use less than 10% of their brain's capacity, but this is completely wrong. In fact, all of our activities use the entire brain. Different regions of the brain always coordinate closely to complete every task. Once the brain is damaged, the body falls into disarray because every organ receives commands from the brain. Therefore, to protect the brain, the first thing to pay attention to is don't let it suffer strong impacts. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, is the result of repeated head concussions. If you've had 3 or more concussions, your risk of CTE is very high, so the brain must absolutely not be hit frequently. Another way to protect the brain is to get enough good quality sleep. Humans will go mad without sleep because it's during sleep that the brain performs its daily self-cleaning. When the brain is active, it creates a lot of waste, cellular debris, and metabolic byproducts. During sleep, the cerebrospinal fluid circulates more strongly, washing away this waste, helping the brain rest and recover. If you frequently suffer from insomnia or don't sleep deeply, this cleanup process is disrupted, allowing toxins to accumulate, which reduces memory, concentration, and increases the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, the most common form of dementia. This disease causes patients to gradually lose their ability to perform daily activities, ultimately impacting their lives severely. It often appears in people over 65. Therefore, from now on, love your brain. Take care of your sleep in the simplest way. Go to bed on time. Another important thing is to use your brain correctly. Don't do many things at once. For example, eating while looking at your phone or browsing the web makes the brain very tired and is bad for the stomach. The best method for brain maintenance is to exercise your brain by regularly learning new things. Don't retire your brain. When you truly do nothing, have no more goals, that's when you age the fastest. The brain will degenerate very quickly. So, every day, do something to stimulate your brain, like learning a foreign language, doing math problems, learning a new skill, reading books, etc. Communicating, meditating, and deep focus all help maintain the brain's health and activity. If you feel stressed, you can try a completely natural way to reduce pressure called the mammalian dive reflex. Just get a basin of cool water, hold your breath, and dip your face into it. You will quickly reduce stress instantly. This reflex automatically triggers a slowing of the heart rate, constricts blood vessels, and blood is shunted to the heart, brain, and lungs, helping you quickly regain your calm. This is a natural biological mechanism that all mammals possess. Understand the heart's mystery and how to prevent it. Next, we'll talk about the heart. Does the human body have a redundant part that also poses a risk of taking our lives? Many people immediately think of the appendix, but science has actually proven the appendix is not a useless organ. It still has a role in our body. There is a mysterious organ called the left atrial appendage, LAA. This is a small pouch off the heart. The vast majority of people don't know it exists, and it's like a redundant accessory with no clear function. Yet it can become a potential source of a leading cause of death. Stroke. When blood passes through the left atrial appendage, a blood clot can sometimes form. If this solid clot floats with the bloodstream up to the brain, it causes a stroke. About 1/4 of all stroke cases are related to the LAA. To prevent stroke and protect your cardiovascular health, the best way is to change your lifestyle and diet to maintain stable blood flow and prevent clot formation. First, limit saturated fats, especially trans fats. These two types of fat increase blood lipids, easily block arteries, and form clots. They are abundant in red meat, fatty meat, chicken skin, organ meats, deep-fried foods, industrial pastries, fast food, and processed foods. Instead, eat foods containing good fats and add more omega-3 fatty acids, for example, sea fish like salmon, mackerel, and tuna, nuts like almonds, walnuts, and cashews, extra virgin olive oil, flaxseed oil, and avocados. Along with that, you need to control your blood sugar. Limit foods that spike your blood sugar quickly and absolutely do not drink sugary soft drinks. Refined starches like white rice, white bread, and noodles are the culprits that make blood sugar spike. A piece of advice to both control blood sugar and protect your digestive system is to change the order in which you eat. Eat vegetables first, then protein and healthy fats, and leave starch for last. Instead of eating refined starches, choose whole grains like brown rice and oats. Instead of eating snacks and fast food, choose to eat whole fruits. Another important thing is to lose weight and maintain a light body. This is crucial for cardiovascular health. Finally, keep your emotions stable. This is one of the most important secrets to protecting your heart. When emotions fluctuate strongly, the body secretes large amounts of stress hormones, which weaken the heart muscle. It's not just sadness or anger. Sometimes, even great joy, if we don't remain calm and regulate our breathing, can also cause heart damage or even sudden death. Guard the doorway of life. The lungs are more fragile than you think. Next, we'll talk about the lungs. The lungs are the only organ that refuses to work while still in the womb. In other words, in the uterus, the lungs are inactive. Only when the baby leaves the mother's body and takes its first cry do the lungs begin to work for the first time. From that moment, the lungs become the first doorway connecting us to the outside world. The lungs are an extremely sensitive organ and hate invaders. Any dust particles, bacteria, smoke, or chemicals that enter can make the lungs react strongly to protect themselves. Every day, we take about 20,000 breaths, meaning the lungs must constantly filter thousands of liters of air, including harmful agents we don't even realize are there. Because they have to work non-stop like this, the lungs are very easily damaged, and they are more fragile than we think. Often, when lung tissue is inflamed, scarring, fibrosis will form, and the unfortunate thing is that the lungs do not have the ability to regenerate completely like other organs. This means that if you've had pneumonia even once, that damage becomes a permanent mark, causing the lungs' capacity and gas exchange ability to gradually decrease over time. Therefore, cherish every breath. Love and care for your lungs even more. The lungs don't have pain receptors like the heart or stomach, so when they cry for help, we often don't realize it. A feeling of heavy breathing, shortness of breath, a persistent cough, or frequent fatigue, even with light exercise, are the early signals your body is sending you. Actively protect your lungs every day. Keep your living environment clean. Stay away from tobacco smoke, fine dust, and toxic airborne substances. Make a habit of breathing deeply and slowly. Maintain regular exercise like walking, yoga, qigong, or swimming to help increase lung capacity, improve endurance, and clean the airways naturally. And most importantly, don't get pneumonia. While I have you, I'd like to share a Dai Chu Tien, Great Cosmic Orbit Qi breathing exercise taught by practitioner Cao Ngoc Lam. I don't know this teacher, so to be clear, this is not an advertisement. It's simply that after a period of persistent practice, I felt a clear, positive change. This exercise not only helps strengthen the lungs in a wonderful way, but it's also like a way to clear the meridians, releasing blockages in the body, bringing internal power from within, while the body feels lighter and healthier. Because I'm truly passionate about it, I'm very happy to introduce it to you. I will leave the link to this breathing exercise video in the comment section below, as well as in the description for anyone interested. Caring for your eyes, ears, and nose properly. In the final section, we'll talk about some basic knowledge on how to protect the health of our eyes, ears, and nose. Regarding the eyes, if I told you that all of humanity is blind, would you believe it? In truth, that's not wrong, because the human eye only sees 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. This means that over 99.9% of the world around us is completely invisible. The eyes also have a design flaw. The image we see is actually inverted, but our brain automatically corrects it so we perceive it in the right direction. To protect your eyes, the author advises applying the 20-20-20 rule, Every 20 minutes, you look at a screen, look at something 20 feet, about 6.1 meters, away for 20 seconds. And don't forget to play sports, exercise, or look near and far flexibly. The eyes will be regulated naturally. It's best to be active outdoors, looking at the scenery. This is a comprehensive experience and protects the eye muscles and eyeball in the best way. Because there's something called optic flow. The sensation of surrounding objects moving in the opposite direction as we move, like when you're biking and you see the trees on both sides moving backward. This state activates the parasympathetic nervous system, helping the eyes relax and expand their field of vision. You can, of course, create a sense of optic flow indoors, but the effect isn't as strong. So, get more exercise in the sunlight. Another very important thing, don't rub your eyes. Rubbing your eyes is an extremely bad habit that can deform the eyeball, cause various inflammations, and directly damage the cornea. Our ears hear sound thanks to the 3 smallest bones in the body and about 16,000 hair cells in the cochlea. You have to damage half of these hair cells before you even begin to notice that your hearing has seriously changed. But note, by the time it reaches that stage, all rescue measures will be in vain. Therefore, to protect your ears, avoid prolonged exposure to loud sounds, and especially do not use in-ear headphones that go deep inside. If you must wear headphones, it's best to choose the over-ear style. Finally, let's talk about the nose. The author says the brain doesn't like the design of our nose. It always intentionally ignores the nose's existence. We actually always see our own nose bridge, but the brain has learned to ignore that image so as not to obstruct our vision. Even so, the nose is an extremely important part of the body. The way to treat your nose well is to learn to breathe through your nose, not your mouth, all day long. Mouth breathing can make the face long and narrow, and especially makes you prone to respiratory problems and infections. For young children, parents need to correct their breathing habits so they form the habit of nose breathing. When you have a nosebleed, many people tilt their head back, but this is the wrong and dangerous way to do it. If you're lucky, the blood will flow down to your stomach and cause diarrhea. But if you're unlucky, the blood flows straight into your windpipe, which can be life-threatening. Moreover, tilting your head back doesn't help stop the bleeding. The best way is to pinch the soft part below the bridge of the nose, sit up straight, and lean your head slightly forward to prevent blood from flowing down your throat. If it still doesn't stop, you can place a small piece of paper between your upper gum and lip, or apply a cold compress to constrict the blood vessels. Another seemingly harmless but extremely dangerous habit is plucking nose hairs. When you pull them out by the root, you leave a small open hole that is easily infected, especially because the nose is located in the danger triangle of the face, where bacteria can spread to the brain. Therefore, you should not pluck nose hairs or pop pimples around the nasal area to avoid life-threatening danger. A final thought. Do you see? This little bit of knowledge about our bodies, we really should know it as soon as possible. It's the key to us living fully, grateful for every minute. The body loves us silently and unconditionally. It is a harmonious, miniature universe, a miraculous machine that allows us to walk, feel, love. And even in the final moment, as our breath fades, that body still doesn't stop trying to give you one last gift: the realization of the lesson from the entire journey you've lived. Scientists have discovered that an EEG, which records brain activity, continues for a short time even after the heart stops beating. What's more, these brain waves are similar to the waves we see when we dream and recall memories. Therefore, in those final minutes, when the monitor shows no more brain activity, a person may actually be reviewing their entire life flashing before their eyes. The human body is truly too wonderful. We don't need to try to pursue a glorious life according to any social template. At the end of that road, perhaps we will realize that the mere act of possessing a body, of experiencing this world through our senses, is already a miracle beyond compare. You don't have to strain yourself to achieve great things to consider this life worth living. Your very existence, with this complex and sophisticated bodily machine, is already a legend. So, understand your body, cherish it, and love it. Take care of your physical and mental health. Learn to love your own life. That is true maturity. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please share it with those who need it. Don't forget to give me a like, press the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to catch the newest videos every week. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next videos.